The accessories in the Jane Scrivener range are limited but extremely important. I'm going to cover all three. I'm going to go into the fluffy mitts and why every girl should have fluffy mitts. In fact, you can never have enough fluffy mitts. I'm also going to talk about the headband, very, very functional, but also fairly essential, especially on those non-hair wash days or the morning after being a non-hair wash. And then I'm going to cover in quite a lot more detail the facelift blade, which is our fantastic lifting and toning tool that you can use at home with any of the Jane Scrivener products. So the first one that I mentioned is the Fluffy Mitt pack. Now this is £10 for the Fluffy Mitt pack, and it comes in a beautiful paper envelope, and you just undo, break the seal so that you know they're perfectly clean, and in here we have not one but two beautifully extra fluffy mitts. I choose mitts because I think that they are softer on the face, especially if you're going on to do an exfoliation, but I also just think they're a little bit of luxury, and they're really fluffy, and they're just gorgeous to use. Every nourishing cleanser comes with a fluffy mitt, and therefore each time you buy one, whether it be the 50ml or the 100ml, you get yourself a fluffy mitt. But I always think it's worth having a couple of extras so that you've got maybe one for every day of the week, so that when you're doing your weekly wash, they all go in together and you don't have to worry about it. One thing to say about the fluffy mitt is that when you do put your hand in, instead of it feeling like sort of a bit of a rag on your face, what I like to do is say to put your hand in that position, so you've got your thumb stuck out and your top finger. No matter what size your hands are, this should work. Then you slide the hand into the fluffy mitt, put that top finger in the corner and the thumb in the other, which gives you a really nice tight line across the top, so that when you're removing your cleanser, that's great. But if you want to get in specific underneath the eye area, around the nose, the mouth, or if you want to get into the hairline, then that's a really specific thing to do, rather than I see people put their hands in as they're doing it, it all feels a bit scrappy. So you've got the extra fluffy mitt, the mitt pack, £10 for the two, gorgeous, really useful to use, so they're on the website. The other one that I said that is quite functional is the headband. It is, again, it's a cotton headband. It is elasticated and Velcro, so that you literally just wrap it around your head. I tend to fix the Velcro first, and then I'm not going to do it, but slide it back to get your hair out of the way. And this is a really good thing to do to make sure all your hair is out of the way when you do your cleanse, so that you can get into the hairline. So many times I see people, they'll do a cleanse, but they'll really only take it just above the eyebrows, and that's not enough, because we generally put makeup right the way up into the hairline. So let's not have that tide mark. Let's make sure that you apply your fluffy mitt, or you wear your fluffy mitt, and then you wear your headband, then your fluffy mitt, and you work those two together. And this shouldn't need washing anywhere near as much. So that's the extra fluffy mitt pack, and then it's the headband. So, as I said, and what quite a few of you are asking for, is our, let me get this right, our facelift blade, which is a beautiful carnelian stone. It comes in its gorgeous little cotton bag, couldn't resist those, and it's got lots of edges. It's got a long edge, it's got a slightly shorter edge, it's got a fine point at the tip, and then it's got this groove here. And what that means is when you're using it, and I'll tell you how to use it in a minute, you have got somewhere on this blade that will fit any part of your face. And that's really important, because it needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to be efficient. The thought process behind the facelift blade is we're taking it back to age-old, ancient, traditional Chinese methods. And you may have heard of something called gua sha or gua sha. Pretty much means the same thing. And the gua means scrape or drag, and the sha means the little sort of, I think it's petechier of skin, so the little dots that if you were to scrape your skin, it would cause little dots on the surface, bringing up the blood for the wound heal response. But we're not doing that for the face. If you were working with this on the body, it's really fantastic deep tissue work, but we're not doing that on the face. So what we're doing on the face is, the tool to use is you use an edge, and you always use it at 45 degrees. So the way I do it is to put it onto, if I was holding my skin back, I put it on at 90 degrees, so you can see there's an L shape between my body and the top of the crystal, and then I just tilt it halfway. And what you're doing is lightly, I'm just holding it there, I am not pressing in, and I'm just combing, and I always use 3 moves. So wherever I am with this crystal, if I'm underneath the eye here, I might choose a smaller area, and I'll do 1, 2, 3, and then move it down, 1, 2, 3. All the moves are outwards and then mildly upwards, or definitely outwards, because what we're trying to do is just lightly drain all the lymph into those lymph nodes around the ears and in the hairline, so that all that puffiness can be reduced and moved away. So the movement is you're scooping up. It's almost as if a guy was shaving and he's using a razor. You can see that they use that. They're not digging in, they're not pressing, they've got it at the angle and they're just lifting. So you could do 1, 2, 3, and then move down a fraction, or if you're short of time, you could use this longer edge and do the whole of the side of the face. It's light, you should feel some movement. I'm just going to look now. As you drag this slowly over the surface, you can see I've got a little bit more colour there, and what that's doing is it's just showing me that I'm stimulating the surface of the skin. So we're not pushing the crystal in, we are working across the surface as if you would maybe with a silicone blade around something. You're trying to scrape everything from the surface, but you're not trying to get into the surface. It's got the grooves here, so somebody like me who's got this groove here, this would be really good for working up at the 45 degrees around there. If you've got a smaller point, you can take it right the way into the eye. This is a sort of slightly downward move, but we're lifting up of the brow of the eye. You could come across the top of the lip. On the neck, it's great, using the whole of that long edge, bringing up the neck. And then we've got this long round end that I haven't used, but again, you could sweep up and lift. Same thing on the other side. So work both sides of the face always. Keep the stone, the crystal, the blade, whatever you want to call it, at 45 degrees to your face. So not straight in like that, and we're not pressing in, we're just holding in, and you should just, it's mildly more than a stroke. It's quite hard to explain the pressure, but you should feel as if you are literally lifting, and you don't really need to look at what you're doing. You could be doing this whilst you're watching a movie, or even while you're reading a good book. Just sort of work, and because you're not dragging, you can see I can work it really quite close into the eye area. I'm not dragging, I'm just stimulating and bringing that blood to the surface. So facelift blade, any aspect of the stone at 45 degrees in, so if I'm holding it like that, I turn it to 45 degrees so you can see, and then I am just smoothing along. And it comes with a little sequence sheet, and it will show you basically just to remind you that to work all the face. So work the forehead, work the eye, work under the eye, work across the cheek. Also you can do little what I call Christmas tree moves. So you could choose the end of it and just come down the nose. And then once you've done that, you could sweep that away and up off the face. So it should feel like you're sort of lifting and toning your skin the whole way through. Isn't really a limit on how much time you can do it for. I have one on my coffee table at home, I have one on my desk, so if I'm sort of doing something, I will pick one up, and even if I just worked around the eye area for one day, and then I was doing the neck for another time, if you're not able to do the whole thing. But little and often, or a definite regular at least once a week, and you'll just see that the skin starts to lift. It's kind of had a sort of a freshening lymph drainage treatment. So see how you go. It's £23, comes with the instruction sheet and the little cute bag, as I say, and it can be used after any application. So you could apply your cleanser, remove the cleanser, and then do your facelift then. You could do it after skin foliate, you could do it after BioBuzz. I quite like it after BioBuzz because then you get what we call in the profession, grip not slip. If you were to use it over an oil, make sure that you massage quite a lot of the oil in, because you don't want drag, you want lift. But sometimes if you've got oil on there, it might be sliding across the surface, so you're not getting as much lift. So BioBuzz is my favourite to use it after. Or you could apply Masquerade as a face mask, and just before it was time to splash it off, then you could use your facelift blade with the Masquerade still on your skin and then splash the whole thing off. So there's really no rules other than the 45 degrees. Don't dig it in or press it in. You just want a mild amount of resistance. So it feels as if you're gently lifting. And if you're getting red lines, then you're going too firm. So I really hope you enjoy your accessories. Fluffy mitt packs, 2 mitts, girl can never have enough. Headband to keep product out of your hair, but able to use it right the way up into the hairline. And then the amazing facelift blade that will lift and tone if you use it regularly. Little and often is always what I say. So welcome to the Jane Scrivner accessories.